Hey everyone, this is your stimulus update for Saturday, July 4th. This stimulus update is for those of you that still haven't received your first stimulus check of $1,200 and for those of you that are wondering about the second stimulus check. For those of you on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and VA benefits, I will be talking to you as well as for those of you that still haven't received your first stimulus check. If you're wondering about the second stimulus check, I'm going to be going over some great news that came out this week from the Trump administration regarding the second stimulus check. Happy 4th of July, everyone. I love my country, and while we do have problems, and there are a lot of problems that are happening right now in our country, I do love it, and I am grateful for the freedoms I enjoy in this country, and for those of you that fought to keep us safe and free. For those of you that are subscribers to my channel, welcome back. Thank you once again so much for watching. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Justin, and I do stimulus updates and talk about financial advice. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And be sure to hit the like button so that YouTube will share this video with others. For those of you that still haven't received your first stimulus check, I'm going to talk to you first. For those of you that are wondering about the second stimulus packages and proposals and whether you'll be getting a second stimulus check, I will be talking to you later in the video. And specifically, I'm going to be answering the following 4 questions. First off, will we get a second stimulus check? Secondly, when will the next stimulus payment happen? Third, how much will the second stimulus checks be? And fourth, who will be eligible for the second stimulus checks? So if you're interested in the answers to those questions about the second stimulus check, then stick around for the entire video, whether you've received your first stimulus check or not. But first, let's talk about the first stimulus check for those of you that still haven't received it. I still get tons of comments from people that still haven't received their first stimulus check, and there are millions of Americans that are still waiting for their first stimulus payments. Many of you that still haven't received your first stimulus payments are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or receive VA benefits. The IRS told those that receive those benefits to not do anything and that their checks will come automatically. However, I've been instructing those that watch my channel to fill out the non-filers tool even if you receive SSI, Social Security, SSDI, or VA benefits. And I'm doing that because the IRS has said that you can use the non-filers tool as long as you are not required to file taxes and you didn't file taxes in 2018 and 2019. Those that receive the benefits of SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and VA benefits seem to be the last in line for this first round of stimulus payments, and I think that's terrible. I also think that those of you that are living abroad or expats have also been kind of forgotten in this first round of stimulus payments. However, I have had some expats that have filled out the non-filers tool and they have received their stimulus payments a few weeks later. So if you are an expat and you are not required to file taxes, I would suggest that you use the non-filers tool. Let the IRS know where you are and how to get your payment to you. Many times they have an old address or old information for you, and that's why it's taking so long for the stimulus payments to get out to you. So as long as you're not required to file taxes, I do suggest that you use the non-filers tool. However, if you are not eligible for the first stimulus payment, meaning you were claimed on someone else's taxes or you're over the income limits for the stimulus payment, then you should not use the non-filers tool because you're not eligible. Also, you must be over the age of 17 in order to receive a stimulus payment. So as long as you're eligible and you are not required to file taxes, then please use the non-filers tool to send the IRS your information. And if you've already used the non-filers tool and you still haven't received any information on the Get My Payment tool, then you probably should call the IRS at the stimulus hotline. That stimulus hotline is 1-800-919-9835. If you have a question that's very specific to you, you need to call the IRS and get that answer resolved. Possibly the IRS has some old information and that's why it's taking so long to get you your stimulus payment. So call the IRS, but just be warned that it is a pain and that they do not have very many representatives that can actually help you. Many representatives will just transfer you to an automated message, or they will just give you the same information that you can find on the IRS's website. But you can actually get representatives that will ask for your Social Security number, and then they can answer questions specific to your situation. So keep trying the IRS phone number and keep checking the Get My Payment tool so that you will be updated as soon as you have a payment date in there. So for those of you wondering about the second stimulus checks, we continue to get more and more great news, it seems like almost every day. First off, will a second stimulus check actually happen? Are we going to get a second stimulus check? Well, I do think we are going to get a second stimulus payment. I want to share 3 different quotes from members of the Trump administration that came out this week specific to the second stimulus payment to individuals. First off, President Trump said in an interview with Fox Business this week, "I actually support larger numbers than the Democrats, but it's got to be done properly. I want the money getting to people to be larger so they can spend it. I want the money to get there quickly and in a non-complicated fashion." So President Trump is saying he wants another stimulus payment to individuals, and he wants more than the Democrats have offered. White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow also told Fox Business this week, "It's a large-scale package. Direct checks are probably going to be part of it as far as the president is concerned right now." So that's 2 people in the Trump administration, including Trump himself and Larry Kudlow, who actually hasn't always been on board with a second stimulus payment. He seems like he's changed his tune recently, and I'm sure it's because President Trump has been pushing for this second stimulus payment to individuals. And the third person is Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. He said in a press conference this week that the White House is going to seriously consider another round of cash payments. So that's 3 people that are within the Trump administration just this week that have said that they're going to give another round of stimulus payments. Now, many of you are saying, well, it's not up to just the Trump administration to decide if we get another round of stimulus payments. However, if they can influence the Senate into getting on board with another round of stimulus payments, then we should be good to go, because the House of Representatives has already basically said, yep, we're good with another round of stimulus payments to individuals. It's really the Senate that's been holding everything up. And I think if the Trump administration can put a little pressure on the Senate and say, look, we really need this second stimulus payment. There are millions of Americans that are still hurting. And I think the Senate will probably cave and actually do it. This is great news for those of you that are wondering about this second stimulus payment. So the next question is, when will the next round of stimulus happen? Well, as many of you know, the Senate is currently on recess and will be on recess until the 20th of July. After the 20th of July, that's when I think they're going to start deliberating and discussing this second stimulus check to individuals. And I think the earliest they will vote on it is probably the Friday of the first week they're back in, and that's the 24th of July. And I also think that the latest that they will vote on it is the following week, and that's the 31st of July. My guess is they'll probably sometime between the 24th and the 31st, the Senate will vote on the next round of stimulus payments to individuals. And after that, then it would have to go back to the House of Representatives and then be signed by President Trump. If the Senate passes a stimulus payment to individuals, my guess is the House of Representatives will sign it quickly and President Trump will sign off on it as well. So the end of July seems to be kind of the date of when we will see the next stimulus payment be passed, and then after that, probably be a few weeks before they actually start sending out payments. So my guess is sometime in August, we will be seeing a second stimulus check. I do hope that the way they roll these out will be better than the first one. President Trump seems to have alluded to that he realizes that the first stimulus payment rollout was a total mess and a total disaster, and that so many people that really needed it still haven't received their first stimulus payments. I'm really hoping that those of you on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and VA benefits, and just in general, those that need it the most, will be getting their second stimulus checks first. I can't guarantee that, but I'm hoping that they realize the mistakes of the first stimulus check and that they're going to try and fix that for the second stimulus checks. So the next question is, how much will the second stimulus checks be? Well, I've kind of always thought all along, since I've been convinced that there will be a second stimulus check, that would be somewhere along the lines of $1,200. Well, this week, President Trump is saying that he wants more than the Democrats. So does that mean it's going to be $1,300 or $1,500 or $2,000? Who knows? He still has to get the Senate on board, but my guess is it's probably going to be at least $1,200 again. It could be $2,000, but I think that's probably a little less likely, but there is a chance now, since President Trump is saying that he wants even more than the Democrats. My guess is it's going to be a one-time payment just like the first one from the CARES Act. And the last question is, who is going to be eligible for the second stimulus payment? Well, first off, I think if you were eligible for the first stimulus payment, I think you're going to be eligible for the second one as well. It seems like this is going to be a widespread stimulus to most people. And for those of you that are dependents on someone else's taxes, I do think that there is a chance that you will be included this time, and that they realize that that was kind of a mistake in the first stimulus payment to exclude those that were claimed on someone else's taxes. That excluded a lot of individuals that are adults and claimed as taxes on their children's taxes, and for people that are over 17 and maybe college-age students that also still need stimulus payments. And I think that there's a good chance that those that were claimed as dependents will receive a second stimulus payment. Now, I'm not positive on any of this because none of this has actually happened, and it's only proposals at this point. But it is really looking good for a second round of stimulus at this time. So my guess is, first off, we, yes, will be getting a second stimulus check. Second, that it will probably happen and be passed sometime in July, and the payments will actually go out in August. And third, that they will be at least $1,200 and possibly more. Fourth, that those that will be eligible are those that received the first stimulus payment, as well as possibly those that were claimed on dependents and missed out on the first stimulus payment will be eligible for the second stimulus payment. That's just my opinion. All of this is just speculation because nothing has been passed, like I said, but I think there's a good indication that this is going to happen and that it will happen within the next few weeks. Once again, happy 4th of July, everyone. Thank you once again for those of you that have fought for our country and fought to keep us free and keep us safe. Stay safe today and enjoy your 4th of July weekend, and I will talk to you again soon.